In this video, we're going to be going over how to create your work drawing for your part 6, the axle peg. So you're going to go to the plus sign down here in the bottom left-hand corner, and you are going to create drawing. So the template that you're going to be using for this is ANSI A inch. If you can't see it, you can click on this and it'll give you a whole bunch of them to choose from. But if you've been following along with the other videos or working in order, it should already be here. Alright, so we are going to grab our axle peg and we're going to place in first our front view. Next, we're going to place in our top view. We're going to click on our front again, place in a bottom view, click on our front again. Now we can place in a right side view, click on the front again, and now we can place in our isometric. Alright, now you're going to press Escape on your keyboard to back out of that tool. So now we can add shading to our isometric, so you're going to right click, Show Hide, Show Shaded View. Alright, now what we need to do is add in some other components. So we're going to add in our center line. So remember, there's more than one type of center line. The one that we're going to be using is the 2-point center line. You might have it already selected to edge, but 2-point is the one you're going to want for this part. So we're going to click on this top portion. It's going to pop up as a red triangle. Then go to the very bottom, again, red triangle for our front view, and then again the same thing for our right view. Alright, we can press Escape on our keyboard to back out of that tool. So from here, there's a few different things that you need to add in that are new. One of them is adding in a whole thread callout. So what we can do is, it's in this drop down menu if you haven't clicked on it before. So it has the whole symbol and the depth symbol. And then we can click on where our thread is located, click off to the side, and it'll place in the notation for our thread. Alright, pressing Escape on the keyboard to back out of the tool. Alright, now what I'm going to do is add in information about my chamfer. So you're going to need to click on the drop down menu for your dimension tool, go to chamfer dimension. And for this one, I'm going to zoom in. I'm using my scroll wheel for that. If you don't have a scroll wheel because you're on a laptop, if you right click and do zoom to window, you'll be able to zoom in. Alright, so what you need to do is click on the bottom edge, or well, the chamfer edge and then the bottom edge, and then you will get your information. Alright, so for this one we have our depth for how far it's cut, and our angle. Alright, and if you're having an issue zooming in and out and you want it to, you could zoom to fit or zoom to window, zoom to sheet. So zoom to fit just fits it in our view. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is add in a note. This note is for the hex socket information. Alright, so I already typed it in previously, so I'm just going to paste what I grabbed from before and typed in earlier. And for this, I'm going to center all of it. Right now I know it doesn't look centered. Oh, gotta highlight everything and then center it. There we go. Alright, and when you type this in, the 5/32 might show up as a fraction instead of like it does here. Either one is fine. So now, because I don't want this so smushed, I can click on this square, move it over to have it our 3 different lines of text that match our example one over here. Alright, so next I'm going to use the line tool and go from the hex socket feature over to my note. But I don't want it to clip into there, so we want to move it over here. Okay, so it's pointing at it, but not directly in the center, because that's a little bit hard to read. So in other CAD programs, you'd be able to use a leader line to place that information in, and then it would kind of look like what we have over here for our thread. But right now they don't have that. Hopefully when they update things, they'll add it in, but currently it's not there. All right, so let's see, zoom to sheet. Okay, so some other things that you're going to need to add in are your diameters, the surface radius, and these heights. All right, so make sure you add those in, and also don't forget about your title block. And again, if, like I said in the last video, you're probably going to want to name your drawing or the part files just so then you know which one you're working with. So you can either rename it just the part number or the name of the object. So this one I'm just going to put 6. Just so then when I'm looking at each tab, I know what is in the tab instead of trying to be like, oh, drawing 1, drawing 2. It gets a little confusing once you have a lot of them. And since we're going to have over 10 of them, it kind of helps to label. All right, so that is kind of the setup for what you need to do, but you still, again, need some more dimensions. So make sure you finish by adding in your other dimensions, okay? So the setup that I gave you is only part of the work drawing, not the final work drawing. All right, good luck.